Hello and welcome. It's NIMASA this week, the voice of maritime, the nation's sole authoritative when it comes to matters of shipping, seafarers, the marine environment, maritime labor, and of course, harnessing all that our oceans and our seas afford us as a coastal state. In other words, we're talking about the blue economy. NIMASA this week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, the nation's apex regulator and promoter of the nation's maritime domain. My name is Ubong Isien, and as always, I will be your guide on this voyage. Welcome back. It's still NIMASA this week, the voice of maritime. And on today's episode, we begin as always with the DG's diary. And we're coming to you from London, where Dr. Bashir Jamo went on what could best be described as an international charm offensive to keep a date with the IMO Secretary General, Kitak Lim, where the DG led a Nigerian delegation to present NIMASA's scorecard during his tenure. I can tell you, it turned out to be a very fruitful engagement. Also on today's episode are the other regulars you've come to know the program for. So if you're ready, it's anchors away.
International Maritime Organization, IMO, has commended the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, for the successes recorded in the Nigerian maritime industry. The IMO Secretary General, Kitak Lim, gave this commendation during Dr. Jamo's courtesy visit to IMO's headquarters in London, United Kingdom. Kitak Lim, who acknowledged that NIMASA has been working smartly, added that the progress was as a result of Dr. Jamo's leadership, which he applauded. While stating that he is looking forward to more of these successes, he noted that this will help the global maritime community.
I believe that is contributing to the economy of the African countries, and particularly Western African countries, but also it gives much bigger confidence to global maritime shipping community. So that is very important, symbolic development. That's why I'm very appreciate your hard work, and also I'm looking forward to see more further positive, constructive progress in the future. Anyway, thank you, and you are most welcome.
The IMO Secretary General also appreciated the NIMASA boss for taking out time to visit the IMO headquarters. In reaction to this, Dr. Jamo attributed the maritime successes to the leadership and support he gets from the IMO Secretary General.
Your Excellency, your support, encouragement from time to time cannot be overemphasized. I must sincerely say this. You took us like brothers, you took us like family. Whenever we press our button, you are there for us. So we owe it a duty to do our best to produce the best for you.
The DG explained that Nigeria was able to address the internally maritime insecurity and by extension positively influence the most challenging region in the global maritime space, which is the Gulf of Guinea. Speaking on the most recent International Maritime Bureau report, Dr. Jamo has this to say.
I am happy and pleased to be here before you today to announce that the third quarter report of the IMB, which I am sure you must be abreast and aware of the report, is very promising. Nevertheless, I think it's more challenging now because we owe it a duty to sustain that tempo, to ensure that we, as you mentioned, we make more promising progress. And that progress, we intend to handle it in a very unique pattern.
He therefore proposed that Nigeria should be given the leadership of the Gulf of Guinea.
If Nigeria can assume the leadership of the Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa, it will give us more leverage to interface with the different governments in those states.
On the issue of Association of African Maritime Administration, Dr. Jamo said efforts are being made to bring member countries back on board to strategize and further improve the maritime security in the region. At the end of the conversation, the DG presented a copy of his book titled Harnessing Nigeria's Maritime Assets to the Secretary General. Collaboration, cooperation, coordination, and communication have become the collective watchwords in the common bid to protect the maritime domain of the Gulf of Guinea. These were the words of the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, while delivering his welcome address at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center Dialogue Series in Lagos. The series, which was hosted by NIMASA, was themed Enhancing Regional Research, Capacity Building, and Convening Stakeholders Towards a Safer Maritime Domain in the Gulf of Guinea. The forum was attended by delegates from Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and Angola. Dr. Jamo disclosed that the federal government of Nigeria is set to launch regional safety and security training centers across the various states in the country. According to the NIMASA boss, the centers, which will be opened before the end of November, are part of Nigeria's efforts to put an end to maritime insecurity in the nation and the Gulf of Guinea. While stating that the motive of the centers is to be internationally accepted, he reiterated the need to take the issue of maritime insecurity globally to make the coast safe and secure.
Our approach to the regional center is like in threefold. First of all, we have to take the issue of this maritime insecurity globally. So when we talk about the global aspect, we have Kofi Annan International Center. And then we have to take it continental, maybe like the entire Africa. We have to study what is going on and what is happening so that we can make the entire continent safe and secured. And then we will take the regional areas. So the regional area, that's the Gulf of Guinea area. So Nigeria is trying to see what they can do. Already we have Search and Rescue Regional Coordinating Center. Now we intend to now plot regional safety and security training center. Then we will not, individual state will now take their national domain and look at their national domain. So after looking at the national domain, you look at the regional, you look at continental, and you look at the global. That's the instance. Our intention is to develop a curriculum that will look at the problems that were happening entirely that regards to the insecurity, be it unauthorized and illegal fishing, arms proliferations, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and so many other. Now the storage issues is becoming now rampant, where people can be taken into store and get away with it. So we will be conducting research all over the region to see what is peculiar in the different countries. And this research will be cascaded to the different countries with advices on what they should be able to do, so that we can always be on alert on what we are supposed to do.
The DG also disclosed that the development has been discussed with the International Maritime Organization.
We discussed with IMO Secretary General. He welcomed it, and we have a maritime security expert attached to us by the International Maritime Organization for the purpose of this assignment.
Dr. Jamo therefore assured all delegates and participants at the forum of NIMASA's total and unalloyed continued support as a maritime administrator in the sub-region. The Deputy Commandant of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Air Commodore George Akok-Dadzi, while giving his opening remarks, appreciated the Director General of NIMASA for hosting the meeting despite the hindrances caused by COVID-19. Air Commodore George acknowledged Nigeria's efforts on maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea.
Quite significant that we are having this meeting in Nigeria, whose efforts over the past few years is having a positive impact on maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea. As we are all aware, the Gulf of Guinea region is an important shipping route for transporting oil and gas, and on any given day is home to around 1,500 fishing vessels, tankers, and cargo ships moving through our vast part of the ocean.
The Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center was established by the Ghana Ministry of Defense in 1998 and commissioned in 2004. The center is one of the 3 peacekeeping training centers of excellence mandated by the ECOWAS to offer training in peacekeeping and peace support operations in Africa. Germany has commended the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, on its fight against piracy on Nigeria's waters. An officer of the German Federal Police, Guide Eckner, and the German Consul General in Lagos, Dr. Bernd von Monchau-Pohl, gave this commendation during their courtesy visit to NIMASA's headquarters in Lagos. Eckner, while stating that the German Federal Police investigate piracy as far as Germany is concerned, noted the readiness to learn and exchange information with NIMASA. He emphasized the need to share information to achieve security success.
We have weapons, we have ships, we have helicopters. We are competing ourselves, but we don't do it by ourselves alone. There are other German authorities involved, again, with ships, with staff, with equipment, like custom, like state polices. We have the possibility of state guard. We joined it all together to Coast Guard, and we have one big Coast Guard C4I center. So leading authorities there, and I think you are a very similar way. When we organize ourselves also as underdogs, we can fight the criminals.
Dr. Bernd von Monchau-Pohl, on his part, explained that although Germany is currently collaborating with Nigeria, he stressed the need for more collaboration in the maritime sector. NIMASA's Director General, Dr. Bashiru Jamo, who played host to the German dignitaries, reiterated that the issue of maritime insecurity cannot be left in the hands of one nation, adding that it's a problem that transcends all other matters. Dr. Jamo therefore stressed the need to jointly fight maritime insecurity, which he tagged as a monster. According to him, fighting this will keep the world safe in terms of shipping.
We have to sit down to work together, listen to each other, collaborate, cooperate, coordinate, communicate, and see where we have gaps and the need to bridge that gap.
The Director General, while giving a breakdown of the security success recorded in the Nigerian waters, stressed the need to sustain this success.
The major important things here is for us to sustain these particular records. And with the green light we are receiving from international community, like your presence here today, we believe we will be able to go above the board. Not only recording lesser figures, but also eliminating this monster from our own waters. On the part of the agency, Beside the provision of these platforms, that is the Deep Blue project asset, we are doing our best to see that we engage the youth and the community, especially within the Niger Delta region. In so doing, we continue to give scholarship to the young Nigerians living around that area that they were unable to read. Because of that, they indulge themselves into this particular crime. Secondly, we are trying to see what we can do to introduce a kind of skill acquisition center where we'll be training those who cannot go for long-time training to acquire degree certificates and enter this vessel and work with the vessel and forget about this crime. So that skill acquisition center will be able to provide training for these younger Nigerians and make sure that they have a means of livelihood through fishing, through repairs and maintenance of our own vessel, through maritime academies to have a short-term courses on electrical engineering, marine engineering, and marine architecture as well. With this, we will be able to see that the less than 1,200 people that indulge in this particular crime will be able to keep them off the street and permanently we secure the Nigerian territorial waters and beyond.
Dr. Jamo, while acknowledging the roles of Germany in the European Union, solicited the nation's support to consider Nigeria's candidature for the Category C election to do more for the Gulf of Guinea region. Transportation systems, and particularly international shipping, have always influenced coastal settlement and economic development activities. Shipping and ports are major factors in coastal development that have significant direct and indirect impacts on the coast. The emergence of issues such as biodiversity protection, biosecurity, and climate change mandates a more integrated approach to dealing with ocean-based activities such as shipping. However, shipping and ports are internally fragmented, and both are isolated from the contemporary integrated coastal discussion and practice, despite their impact on ocean activity. Shipping is said to be the blood of international trade. So also are the seafarers, considered as essential workers that enable shipping activities to move seamlessly. As part of efforts to highlight seafarers and their core role in shipping and its future, the International Maritime Organization dedicated 2021 World Maritime Day to seafarers. The theme, Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future, sought to increase the visibility of seafarers by drawing attention to the invaluable role they play now and will continue to play in the future. Owing to all of these, Chief Executive Officer, Oceanic Energy Limited, a member of Nigeria Ship Owners Association, Captain Taiwo Akinpelumi, stressed the need for training and certification of seafarers.
It is very, very important that seafarers are properly trained, you understand, properly trained and properly certificated for them to actually be employable, you understand, because there are still this story about near coastal certification. You are aware that the level of certification we still attain in Nigeria is still near coastal. And Maritime Labour Convention is for ships on international trade, though is the minimum requirement put in place by the ILO and IMO. Of course, a flag state can surpass that standards, but most times if you are not on international trade, you will not be sanctioned if you actually go against that. But we want to see a situation whereby our flag administration will, in fact, will surpass IMO standards in a way as per seafarers' safety, as per seafarers' welfare. And I know that this new administration is really making a huge effort to make sure that at least they change the narrative. So when I look at the future, I will say yes, there is hope. If all these challenges have been addressed, I was privileged to be in the know of what this new administration is doing to actually bring about improvement in the area of training and certification, so that at least they have to be prepared to get seafaring jobs. They have to be well trained.
Recently, the federal government, through the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, renewed its commitment to the nation's maritime capacity development program with a view of bridging the skill gaps in the sector. As part of the efforts towards the policy, the NIMASA's third phase of the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, NSDP, has sent over 200 youths overseas for international maritime training. Performing the flag-off of the third phase of the NSDP, also called NSDP Terra, was the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Rotimi Amici, who charged the selected youths to be good ambassadors of the nation as they depart the country. On this occasion, the Director General, NIMASA, Dr. Bashiru Jamo, stressed that the program is part of the federal government's initiative to bridge the capacity gap in the maritime sector across the 6 geopolitical zones.
Seafarers have the potential to impact our national economy in this regard. With all we have enumerated, today becomes all more important. The 200 youths standing before us today now bear the major burden of our shoulders, because we can achieve our potential with you. Government is making this huge investment in all ramifications for you in order to position our country for the blue economy. The training you will receive and the certification you will achieve will put you into the global shipping marketplace and enable you to ultimately contribute your prospective quotas to the expansion and diversification of the national economy.
Aside the NSDP, NIMASA also established the Maritime Resource Development Center, a formal center of maritime knowledge with provision for e-library, maritime data bank, robust facilities, and excellent learning environment. These and many more show that NIMASA is taking necessary measures to ensure continuous manpower development in the maritime sector.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. And straight away, we take you to the Guardian newspaper for this week's Maritime Mandate. Yes, the Maritime Mandate is the weekly column written by the DG of NIMASA to keep Nigerians abreast of goings-on in the Nigerian maritime domain. You can access and read previous articles by simply using the hashtag Maritime Mandate. You can also go to the DG's personal website, bashirjamu.com, or visit the Guardian website for past articles. Do remember to follow the DG of NIMASA on all his social media handles on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram to continue the conversation. Likewise, the NIMASA official social media handles as displayed currently on your screen. However, if your interest in the Nigerian maritime domain is strictly business, then you need to have access to the right information and to quality information, because maritime is heavily regulated. That means to play in the Nigerian maritime sector, you must be in compliance at all times. And there can be no better place than the NIMASA official website as currently displayed on your screen, and we urge you to make the website your first port of call. Thank you for watching today's episode of NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, and that your knowledge of the progress being made in the Nigerian maritime space and of course in shipping in general in Nigeria has improved significantly. Remember that you can never cross the ocean by standing on the side of the shore. So, till I see you next time, my name remains Ubong Isien, and I'm asking you to stay on course. Bye-bye.